The Varsity Blues scandal. In March of 2019, the national college admissions scandal, known as Varsity Blues, that involved prominent celebrities and the highly ranked schools of USC, Stanford, and UCLA made headlines. The bribery scandal drew a lot of attention toward admissions offices and what kind of procedures they have in place for deciding students' admission. The California State Audit investigation alleged that the UC Berkeley admitted 42 freshman applicants who had connections to large donors and university staff. Of those 42 applicants, 13 of them were admitted to UC Berkeley's sports team. Also, according to the audit, 22 of the 64 total students inappropriately admitted to one of the four UC schools were put on athletic teams, even though they showed no or little or no athletic abilities. Among the less qualified students who were accepted, you had the babysitter for a colleague of the former director of undergraduate admissions. You had the child of a prominent alumnus, the child of high-level university staffer, two children of donors. In addition, the audit said a former UC Berkeley admissions director openly invited faculty and staff to suggest the names of offspring of their family and friends for her to review personally. Now, that is blatant bias. Unsurprisingly, most were white and well off financially, and they were far from the best applicants. These applicants were less qualified than many others for whom the campuses denied admission. The audit said, in fact, some of these applicants received the lowest possible scores on their applications. The audit includes a graphic showing outcomes for two white students who had benefited from their connections. Evaluators of their applications had recommended rejecting them, but they were accepted anyway. Meanwhile, unfortunately, students of color who had been recommended for acceptance were rejected. Make no mistake, at privileged colleges, students often are accepted because they have connections or parents who make big donations. Just having a parent who is an alumnus gives applicants a significant boost, a practice known as legacy admissions. But that wasn't the case here, because it's not supposed to happen at California's public universities, paid for in part by taxpayers like myself, with policies that call for fair, merit-based admission. In fairness, the number of improperly accepted students is barely a blip. Berkeley admits about 14,000 freshmen a year, but at a time when the fairness of college admissions is under new scrutiny, it is galling to see privilege prevail over merit at a campus known for its commitment to social justice. No matter how few applicants were admitted via their connections, California clearly has fed a system of ethical sloppiness. UC's internal reviews fail to find as many cases of admissions wrongdoing as a state audit. The university has put new admission safeguards into place, but the issue here is more one of a problematic culture than lack of rules. There were already rules in place for some of these set situations. They simply weren't followed. UC needs regular reviews of admissions practices, which should be conducted by external entities that aren't beholden to the university. I do think that it sucks that it might have taken away spots from people who are more deserving of it. And I do think it is disappointing. Talent should get you into a university. I think it's distressing. It's awful to see that anyone at any of America's public university would use their position of power to allow someone to get into that hasn't earned a seat. It is unethical that this took place, and it just goes to show that money talks. If these families had made the right choice of simply hiring a tutor and allow their privileged kids to actually work hard and accomplish a passing grade, it would be more appreciated in the long run, and their lives wouldn't be upside down at this point. After all, a little hard work does go a long way. Education costs, but you can't buy education. You have to work hard for it. Thank you, Professor.